am on a mission, and that mission is to slap people upside the head and wake them up and even make them hate me, if that's what it takes to get them to go examine what I'm telling them to find out that it's right.
First of all, this needs to be said. There never was a war. How can you say that, Bill? Well, a war is when two armies are fighting.
Politicians. Everybody complains about politicians. Everybody says they suck. Well, where do people think these politicians come from? They don't fall out of the sky. They don't pass through a membrane from another reality. They come from American parents and American families, American homes, American schools, American churches, American businesses, and American universities, and they're elected by American citizens. This is the best we can do, folks. This is what we have to offer. It's what our system produces. Garbage in, garbage out.
You know, and all these hidden agendas and just brainwashing and bizarre belief systems that are being thrown at us, you know, when they should all leave. Not only the good ones and the bad ones, they should all just leave and leave us alone.
And good afternoon, everyone. It's Thursday. This is Just in Time with your host, Justyn, and on the line with us tonight is Mr. James, my co-host. How's it going, James? You out there?
Let's go. Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, I hear a lot of fidgeting. Like you getting all set up in your window?
Yep, I'm in there. I'm comfy.
Cool, man. So, yeah, everyone, we got open phones tonight if anyone wants to call in. 718-717-8296. We got 2 hours of talking, rambling on, bitching, pissing and moaning and complaining, and then some good stuff and then some bad stuff, and then the music plays. So So, Mr. James, how you doing today, man?
No, I'm alright. It's just watching it snow, like a lot of snow. I don't know. It's snowing like a bastard.
Oh, yeah, I know. We're supposed to get 4 to 8 inches, and it's not supposed to be so cold, but when it's not so cold, it snows like a bastard.
Yeah.
That's the only bonus with like negative 15 degrees, man. It doesn't snow. I like that law, that rule of nature. Like, oh, well, when it's super, uber, duper cold, it's not going to snow. So, yeah, I freaking drove home. It took me an extra 15 minutes tonight because the roads are greasy and everyone's doing 20. And I can understand. People have bad tires and they're scared of the other people on the road. And I guess if you're going to pay attention at any point in your life, at least pay attention behind the wheel of your car.
That goes without saying, doesn't it?
Well, it should, but it doesn't always happen. That's the thing, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't always happen. There's people that are on their phones. We went through this whole thing on Tuesday, man. The guy with the iPad, man.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, hope everyone out there's got a brewski. You got a brewski?
Of course.
Awesome. I think later I got my little ghetto clip player set up with your mic, dude, so I'm thinking later if we get to it, we might forget about it if we get onto a good rant, but I do have a Bernie Sanders, Michelle Bachmann clip I'd like to play, and every time Bernie says, excuse me, I'm talking, everyone's got to take a shot. I guarantee you're going to be lit up by the time that's over. I don't agree with
Bernie
everything he says. What's that?
I said Bernie says that to himself.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
Wait till I'm done talking.
I hear an echo. Can you shut up, please? Yeah, our independent socialist, self-proclaimed independent socialist. It's kind of weird. How can you be an independent socialist? Like, you want to be socialized all by yourself? You know, independent social is like, you know, it's kind of like an oxymoron. It's like saying non-invasive rectal probe. If you think about it, independent social, you're not really, you're a socialist or you're not.
Right. He's a socialist. He was an open socialist when he was the mayor of Burlington in the 70s. He made all that good hippies. He made Burlington the hippie city what it is today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, well.
Yeah, you're actually a little quiet on the mic if you could,
dude, I'm trying to be like up on it. I'm as close as I want to be.
Oh.
Really.
All right, well, we'll work with it. We'll work with it.
All right, I'm trying.
That's cool. So is anything bugging you today, dude, other than like, the normal shit?
No, I'm just in constant pissed off mode. Like, CPM. And, whatever. I kind of had like a good long time to think on the drive home the other night, and it's just kind of like, it's like realizing that we're screwed and blah, blah, blah. It's just like another one of those things where you find yourself going around and around on, and you're going to kind of keep spinning your wheels on it. So I'm trying to approach it a different way. I'm trying to think about it some other way. I'm trying to figure out another way so I'm not constantly pissed off.
break out of the figure eight infinity loop of back and forth. Well, we could do this, but it's kind of a moot point. Or we could do this, it's kind of a moot point.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm just trying to find another viewpoint or another angle to look at it so I'm not constantly pissed off. So so I don't know. It's just the realization that I think you could present all the truth to all the people all at the same time, and they would still all take the pill and go home and go to sleep and act like it would never happen. It doesn't even matter. Like, you could have all the evidence you want. I just think that, they're happier being that way because it's just that way. So it's just like trying to figure out how to deal with that. And the only thing I can figure out so far is living out in the woods and never leaving and having someone live by proxy for
you. Punching out.
Yeah. Well, that's the only true way that you could get away with, like, just completely not having to deal. If you had the means to go out in the woods, have a house, and have someone else go out and do all the stuff that you need, you wouldn't really have to leave your property. But who can really do that?
Well, I don't know if being antisocial is the way to fix any problems, because
no, exactly. It seems like that's the only like way to not have to. You're not fixing anything. That's not a solution to anything, but it's the only way that you could that I see that you can deal with it in that such a way where you're not in it. You know what I mean? You have to completely remove yourself from it.
Well, I understand the idea, man, but there's this. I don't know. I have this. I don't want to make. I don't know. Like, you can scream. We can scream from the rooftops. You've been over this before. We can scream until we're hoarse, and then, what percentage of the people are we going to be getting through to? Is it worth? What's the better option? Punching out and letting the boat sink, and you just throw the little teeny cup you've been using to bail the boat out, and you're in the Titanic, and the little coffee cup you have is not enough. Or do you continue with that coffee cup and try to grab as many more coffee cups as you can, but still you're that guy on the edge of the frickin' thing with the 6 coffee cups trying to throw it over the side, going, come on, anyone want to help?
You only have 2 hands, so, you can only, one man is only, or woman is just only so much. So.
You're sounding a little down today. Do you need a hug?
No, I'm not down at all. I just, it's just the realization that, there's a small group of us out here, but, it's clicky.
It doesn't take a whole lot of people to, affect a lot of change, and we got a call coming in. I said, it doesn't take a whole lot of people to really, affect some real change. They just gotta, stand up for what they believe in, and we all got to agree on that. And what we believe in is we're all being screwed, you know?
Right. But like you've said, we can't agree on anything. So.
I know, but I have hope for the future, man. And we have a caller. Who do we have on the air with us here tonight?
Mark.
Hey, Mark. How's it going?
It's going okay.
Sweet, dude. So, did you have anything you wanted to bring up, or do you just want to kind of go back and forth with us? Because that's usually what we do.
Just something I just want to talk about, which is Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day?
Yeah, which I seriously hate that holiday because I don't have a Valentine's with me.
Oh, I know what you mean, dude. You know, it's funny you bring up Valentine's Day. I got one of those weird kind of, I got a weird date I'm doing. It was funny because, I'm leaving my work tomorrow. Tomorrow's my last day, so it's going to be a stressful day, but I have a good friend that works with me there, and I said to him like last week, I was like, so I don't have a date for Valentine's Day, so I'm going to take you and your fiance out and, you know, have her be my wingman. But, you know, I know what you mean, dude. Not having a Valentine kind of gets on you for a while there, you know, if you don't.
Because I told myself, I'm like, you know what, when Valentine's Day comes, I'm not doing shit for nobody.
Yeah. So, is it just the fact that you don't have a girl? Is that the reason why you don't like Valentine's Day? Because, you know, a lot of people play into it anyway. Just, you know, the players like to go out and bar hop and, you know, piss someone off by hitting on their girlfriend. That's what I'm probably going to do tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, because I was over at, I don't know if you've ever been to Rite Aid lately, but they had these stuffed animals. And one would say, kiss me. I don't know what the other one would say, but see, the thing about Valentine's Day is that you never ever want to purchase a stuffed animal that says kiss me on it. Because, first off, for the lady that you do not know, you may not know what she is capable of doing. She may turn around, possibly punch you, or possibly straight kick your ass, or, you know.
So you're saying that stuffed animal's a little too forward?
Yeah, I mean, getting a stuffed animal that says kiss me on it is just taking it way too far.
You know, I agree getting stuffed animals for any occasion is going way too far if you're over the age of 10. I don't think I've bought a stuffed animal in years. I think the last one was for my sister when she was just a little duffer. But, you know, she's full size now, so, you know, if I bought a stuffed animal, well, she's almost full size. She's like 4 foot nothing. So, like, if I got a stuffed animal, it'd probably be bigger than she is. I wouldn't want to insult her.
Yeah, exactly. But,
so Mark,
I don't know.
We were talking a second ago just about trying to get, like, what's a good, well, not really good, but what's a solution for individuals, you know, like going out in the woods and living through someone else by proxy, or continue to scream on the rooftop on your damn near busted soapbox, man. What would your preferred method to go about the awakening here we're all trying to participate in?
Well, just what you just said just now.
Okay. So, like, stand on your damn near broken soapbox and continue, or, yeah, that's what you're trying to say? We lose Mark?
Yeah.
Okay, you're still there. Okay, good. So, I don't know, man, like, we got there's a lot of voices out there in the proverbial darkness trying to turn the lights on, you know, per se. So, I don't know what the best method is, and what me and James like to do is just talk about what bugs us and what's real in our life, and you know, I understand fully about the Valentine's Day thing. It's just, I don't like holidays in general. I never really celebrate holidays. The only one that I even remotely like is Thanksgiving, because there's a whole buttload of food involved, and then a nap in the afternoon. But when it comes to these, I always, it's just another commercial holiday, Valentine's Day. It's that's the holiday everyone buys flowers, chocolates, and rubbers.
Yeah.
If you really want to make a statement, don't buy a stuffed animal that says kiss me, buy a rubber that says kiss me.
Yeah, exactly. Oh no, man. I mean, it's just that with me, Justyn, I'm a kind of a man that just likes to keep myself on the down low. I don't want to do anything, too extreme or stuff to get my ass beat up, if you will.
Well, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to keep yourself on the down low? Like, I make myself known half the time, not to the point to where I get the I love myself hug me jacket and thrown in the back of a vehicle and dragged off, but I do make myself known to people that are in my local area that just don't understand what they're like when people talk about Obamacare, like it's a great thing, and I was like, well, do you know what's in that? No. Well, then you don't really have a good opinion on it, do you? Or do you know who you're voting for? Well, I'm voting for the Republican Party because my whole family has always done the Republican Party. I'm like, do you know like what they stand for? No. Okay. Do you know what the original actual Republican Party stand for? No. Well, then how can you say that? I'm that kind of guy, and that's just the way I think everyone should be. It's just more verbally open. You don't have to go around, frickin' open carrying in front of your Capitol building holding the sign says, arrest the fuckers. You don't want to do that. That's not a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, as a matter of fact, too, because I had an idea, because I wanted to go out to a restaurant and, meet up with a real nice lady, because I live in Virginia, and, we got some restaurants out here. We got this place called Tilted Kilt. It's got some nice ladies that work over there, and I was thinking in the back of my head, perhaps I should go to Tilted Kilt and meet, some of the ladies over there. But I thought to myself, like, nah, I ain't gonna fucking do that shit.
So what are you gonna do tomorrow, man? You just gonna chill out at your house?
Possibly. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Here's my advice for your Valentine's Day. This is pretty much what I'm gonna end up doing anyway, even though I'm doing my little fake going out with my friends. It's gonna be fun, but just be your own Valentine, man. Because if you can't love yourself, no one else can love you. So.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't sweat it. There's always someone out there, as I've been told 1,000,000 times in the last year. There's always someone out there for everyone. So don't push it. It'll happen, man. Don't worry about it. Be cool. But you just said you just said you're in Virginia. Now, obviously, Virginia is really close to West Virginia, and don't they have a big old polluted water problem over there? Is that affecting you guys at all?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah? You got any warnings saying, like, don't drink the water or anything like that?
It's my first time ever hearing that saying.
Well, you gotta check it out, dude. You gotta check it out, man. So, Mr. James, what's your plans for tomorrow?
Same thing I do every day, Pinky.
Yes, I plan to take over the world.
Yep.
Yes, one driveway at a time.
Yeah, just doing the thing. Just the same old thing we always do. We don't celebrate Valentine's Day here.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like I said, man, I don't celebrate hardly any holidays. The only reason why I do, like, I'm stuck going to places is because of family. They're like, oh, well, it's Christmas. Or, oh, well, Turkey Day is the only one worth going to. You don't have to thank everyone for every little, thing that you never wanted or even thought of. It's just like, oh, we expect turkey and stuffing, and that's great. I think every holiday should just be like Thanksgiving.
My second favorite holiday is my birthday.
So James Day, I like that day too. Oh man, you guys aren't very lively tonight. Come on, someone's got to get fired up.
I love
Fired up,
Thanksgiving.
Mark. Come on. Everyone in chat's waiting for someone to light the match and hit that fuse so the rocket goes straight up.
I love Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I only like the celebrating part. I don't like what it actually stands for. And like, there's a lot of holidays that stand for shit I don't like. And I don't know why we have so many freaking holidays. Isn't Monday a holiday? Isn't Monday President's Day?
Si, senor.
Yeah. Okay. So why do we have to have President's Day? Whoop-de-doo. He gets to celebrate every freaking day. He's got all of our money. He can spend it on whatever the hell he wants. His wife can do the same shit. She can go around with staff for her and her dog and staff for her staff of her dog and her mother. And he gets to run around and have the armored car with, the armored.
It's not President's Day for Obama. It's President's
Damn.
I know.
Big dummy. I know you know.
Dude.
It's what it really is a car sales holiday. That's what it really is.
Yeah, I know.
Because it's like, it's a holiday for the car people to sell cars in the beginning part of the year. It's like they need an excuse for a sale.
Come on down, it's President's Day, and we got our little Bic lighter with 4 wheels that over here for dirt cheap. It's only marked up 400%. We knocked 40% off of that. It's gonna be a good day.
Hey, look.
Come in, drive it away, and when you run out of gas, come back and you can get another one.
Hey, look, I'm looking at a comment that Zoe had said that she said that that like for Valentine's Day that we should take our dates to McDonald's, and because McDonald's is accepting reservations for Valentine's Day.
What are they accepting?
It says that on his article that McDonald's is accepting reservations for Valentine's Day.
Really, the fast food place, awesome. I hope that's a bad joke. Like, who goes to who? Well, I'm sure in today's economic world, a lot of people are taking their dates to McDonald's. So, hey babe, you want to go out? We're gonna grab ourselves a couple of PBRs, and then we're gonna hit the drive-thru. Do you want a small fry and like a McDouble, or do you want, or do you want to go all special? We'll get a sundae, and we'll get you a filet of radiated fish. And then we'll go sit at the other end of the parking lot in our little beat up jalopy, and we'll listen to iTunes. It'll be so hot. It'll be so hot.
Can you throw in a Big Mac with that?
It's just the whole thing with fast food places promoting shit like that is just wrong. They make enough money as it is. They're not hurting. Just the people working for them are.
Yeah.
Sorry. You go ahead, man.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not trying to see nothing bad. I'm with you. I agree.
Yeah, I worked at McDonald's for like 3 weeks when I was 16. That was the worst job ever, man. Worst job ever. And it was really messed up at the end of the day. Like, I knew it was messed up then, but I didn't realize how deeply messed up it was. But like, at the end of the day, you get all this shit food that's left over, and you gotta spend time, like, not only cleaning all the crap, but you gotta write down, like, how many patties and how many nuggets and how many things are left over that you didn't sell that day, and then you throw it all away. Like, isn't that just a waste? And I thought McDonald's was a charitable organization that liked to help out the needy people at a certain extent, because they have to have those tax write-offs. Because remember, I haven't seen them in a long time, but they used to have that McDonald's charity thing underneath the drive-thru window, so you could throw your coins into it as you drove past. They don't do that. I don't think
they still have that.
They do?
They still have that, dude. Yeah.
They don't go to a lot of McDonald's, man. The last 2 I've been to, which was like 2 years ago, they don't have that. They didn't have those things up by the windows anymore. Maybe they were inside next to the register trying to lure you inside so you can be charitable too. You can get your cheap junk food, and then you can also throw $1 in this jar, and you'll feel better about yourself for doing it. Cause I'm plugging my arteries for charity.
Exactly. Yeah, that's just like I don't know if y'all ever heard about the what was that shit, Obamacare. Now because of this Obamacare thing, that they want to cut pills hours at McDonald's, and everybody's paychecks looking like shit or whatnot. And
well, I know a lot of businesses are just going under that minimum hours they need to have to comply with Obamacare, and it's just not right. And what really is not right, I can't remember what senator it said. Maybe it was Feinstein or maybe it was Pelosi or someone was saying like, oh well, now that you're going to have so much more free time to do the things you want to do if you choose to opt out and do the 20 hours a week thing or 30 hours a week. It's like more free time to do what you want. Like you have no money. Like you have no money to do anything. Like it's just another reason to make you, be more broke and sit at home staring at the boob tube and sign up for more programs so you can be able to pay your bills or at least get your food or whatever,
Yeah, I mean, don't take it the wrong way. I'm not trying to say nothing bad about Obamacare, but I mean, it's. No,
I'm not defending it, dude. I'm not ever going to sign up for it. I believe it is the most horrible piece of legislation that's come out yet. Well, no, that's not entirely true, but it's right up on the top three. Like they're all tied, man. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's just that when I first think about it, I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, like, I don't know.
Obamacare is going to bankrupt the rest of this country. Like, one of the reasons why I quit my job on the way in the back burner, the 4% of the reason was because if I don't work for anyone, then, I don't, have to fall into that. I don't think self-employed people are falling underneath that yet. But I do know that this state is being either brainwashed or we're legislating our way into so like everyone's got to get it no matter what, and they want to do a single payer here. And I don't know. I think
3 years, dude. Within 3 years, they will have single payer here.
Great, just what we need.
Yeah.
And how are they going to?
We're already the most heavily taxed state one of the most heavily taxed states in the country. And we pay a fee for every time. Every time you turn around, you pay a fee for everything. So, let's just add single payer on top of that. Great, we're so far gone from anything. It's that's why I figured you just build a vault out in the woods and just go live there and be done with it. Because dealing with this out here, man, we can't win this. We don't win this game. This game is not for us to win. We're players in it. We're just pawns in the game for them. They're playing against their other rich buddies, and we're the ones that get screwed in the end. So that's the only story that should be reported all the time. Really, that story right there, that how screwed we are all the time by it being rigged against us at every turn. So
So the intro.
Gloom and doom, I know.
The intro should sound like, welcome to UCY.TV. This is the We Are Screwed report, and this is how deep it goes today.
Yeah, exactly.
We're just as screwed today as we were yesterday.
Only a little bit more. Just a smidge more. And on the weekends, you get a break. You get a break on Saturday and Sunday, so you can go
get to reach around on the weekend. Reach around. It's not as bad as we thought with the global warming. Or the climate change. Oh, yay. There's your reach around for the weekend. Have a nice one. Gloom and doom on the way.
Oh my God. That's so fucking...
Yeah. Well, we got senators and representatives out there debating stuff that doesn't, the stuff that does affect us, that we only have one or two voices out there that are trying to get their voices heard, and you don't usually hear them. Then all the ones that are the loudest or in the biggest group trying to screw us the most. And, I just got a text message that said a whole bunch of numbers and digits, and it wasn't you, James. It was weird.
Exactly.
It might be a bill. I don't know. But, I'm actually gonna because you guys are so lively, I want to bring, this kind of ties in, this is a debate with Bernie Sanders, our senator here in Vermont, and Michelle Bachmann, I don't even care enough to know where the hell she represents. But we're going to play a little drinking game, guys. This is a little long clip here, but I'm going to pause it probably randomly so we can comment. But every time you hear someone say, please wait and let me speak, or excuse me, everyone in chat and everyone on this call has to take a swig. So here we go. Unless it does a frickin' ad.
The Minnesota Republican Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann and the independent senator from Vermont, Bernie Sanders. Thanks to both of you for coming in. So what would you do about this issue of income inequality? It's a poignant story we just heard, and the president is going to be focusing in on this in the State of the Union.
Well, I thought the segment that just ran was excellent. I agreed with Ann. I agreed with what she was saying, because what she's saying is that I've been on dependency entitlement programs for years. They haven't changed my life. What I want is a job. And that's what we need. It isn't income inequality. It's income opportunity. We need growth. We need prosperity, because a job is what she wants. That's the dignity that she needs and the opportunity for a way out.
She wants some education, too, to help her get a job. You don't have a problem with that.
Do I have a problem with that? No. I think it's absurd that we have probably the most dysfunctional early childhood education system in the entire world, that the cost of college is soaring. And I believe that we should learn from many other countries that understand that education is an investment, and that every kid in this country, regardless of income, should have an educational opportunity.
All right, I gotta stop that already.
Damn.
I'm sorry, Mr. Sanders. Education is an investment in the freaking financial collapse of this country. Like, go out there, everyone that really thinks they should go get some college, and you go out there and you finance yourself a couple of brand new Audis to pay for it. And, we'll see you down at McDonald's flipping burgers with your law degree and with your freaking doctorate, you know? Oh man. And this guy is a senator, like, in our state. It's like, this is, and, you know, I used to like the dude, and, you know, I've met him a couple times. He's likable, you know? He's a likable dude, but he's right about the early education system in this country. It sucks. It freaking sucks. But I can't even listen to Bachmann half the time because she speaks so much damn logic, and it's
Continue on, Maestro. Play the clip, Maestro.
I'm continuing, but yeah, I'll try to refrain from pausing it. Here we go.
You want to hear the president say tomorrow night?
Well, what I want to hear him say is quite similar to what the Pope has said. Is that at a time when we have the top 1% in this country owning 38% of the financial wealth, and the bottom 60% owning 2.3% of the wealth, that is obscene, that is unacceptable, and that is not what America is about. In terms of income, in the last few years, 95% of all new income generated wealth went to the top 1%. So we need an economy that works for all of the people and not just millionaires and billionaires.
Congresswoman?
Well, we need to grow the middle class, and what the middle class needs are jobs. And that's really the problem that the president has to explain. It's tough to blame President Bush for the current economic woes. We have 5 years of Obama policies. And what do we have? We have people who are really suffering because people made more money. If you look at the median income level, people actually made more money 7 years ago than they're making now. People have every right to be upset. So what we need to do is reject.
Paused. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, we're in the mess that we're in because of, and I don't agree with any president really because they're all screwed on one level or something, but dude, I got really bad echo. I lost my point.
You're talking about the president and getting screwed.
Oh, all right. So the whole thing of growing the middle class, and needing jobs, yeah, duh, that's of course, but what we really need to do is expand, raise what people are getting paid, because as things have gone up, as prices of everything has gone through the roof, wages have gone down. People are downsized. They take a less paying job so they can still have a job. You know what I mean? They try to say that what your pay difference is made up in your health care, but you got shitty health care with like a freaking $60,000 deductible. You know, it's absolutely ridiculous to think that, like, you know, what really needs to happen is wages need to go up to keep up with the prices of things going up, or not let them gouge us on prices and lower prices on shit. So, like, there's two options for you, but like, it's a load of horse shit. Continue on.
Well, so supply and demand is got a big factor with prices, but I don't think all this printing of money every month at the tune of billions and billions and billions of dollars is helping us out either. Like, I think that's got a lot more to do with it than the price. The prices are going up because of that mainly, and not so much. Okay, I'm gonna beat the crap out of my phone in a minute here. You need to stop making messages while I'm on air. So we got to stop the inflation, and we also got to, like, you know, have an honorable supply and demand style system. I'm going to continue now.
Okay.
These policies of growing entitlements and dependency, and instead embrace policies that will grow jobs for people, because that's the question.
Because you want less government.
Where's the jobs?
You want less government, but Senator, you want more government?
The Congresswoman kind of forgets to mention is that when Obama became president, we were losing over 700,000 jobs a month because of the greed and the recklessness and illegal behavior on Wall Street. Is the economy good today? No, it is not. Is it a heck of a lot better than when Obama first came in? Sure it is. The real
bullshit. Continuing.
issue that we need right now is, in fact, how do you create jobs? How do you protect working families? Cutting Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, abolishing the minimum wage, which some of my more conservative friends want to do, is not going to help Ann, and it's not going to help millions of workers. We need a real jobs program. We need to rebuild our crumbling infrastructure, put millions of people back to work, make states like Minnesota and Vermont more energy efficient so people are not wasting.
Where do you need to get the money?
You're going to get the money by asking the wealthiest people in this country.
More taxes?
Pardon me?
More taxes on the wealthy?
Yes, my goodness. Given the fact that 1 out of 4 corporations in America doesn't pay a nickel in federal taxes, given the fact that the wealthy are doing phenomenally well, their tax rates are much lower than they were in the days of that old socialist Dwight D. Eisenhower. Yeah, I do think the wealthy are large corporations.
Let's talk a little bit about tax rates. I'm a former federal tax litigation attorney. If there's anything that's been proven over time, Wolf, it's this. When you lower the tax burden, that's a cost of doing business, you'll create more jobs. That's exactly what the piece that preceded our segment said. This woman, Ann, wants a job. And so we have people all across the United States who have an ability to start companies. Single mothers like Ann want to start a business. We're not talking about mega businesses. We're talking about people who just want to get in.
So basically what she's saying, Senator, if you raise taxes on those big corporations, there won't be enough jobs. They're going to cut back on hiring.
Yeah, but it's not only that. But no, let me say something. It's not only that. It's also the fact that government is spending too much. The share that government has been spending, the question is, will people like Ann have money in her pocket to spend, or will it be government's big pocket that will be gulping our money? That's a big problem.
Look,
all right. Everyone prepare to start drinking. This is where it goes. This is where it's going to start going. It's going to start getting fun. But I want to say something about what Michelle Bachmann had to say. And it's going to be that maybe this one person wants to get a job or start a business, but they can only have so many daycares out there. You know, she's a single mom. She's going to want to start a business. What's that going to be? It's going to be like, mainly it's going to be like I know a lot of people that do daycare because that's all they can do because they have like 2-3 kids. And what do? Well, you just take care of a few other people's kids and that's how you make your money. Like I'm not talking down about it, but like it's like that service industry thing. You only have so many waiters. You can only have so many bartenders. And what are they going to do? Like, well, lower the tax rate. Like, she's advocating for corporate tax rate to go down. Like, that's going to affect this woman, Ann, out in the middle of nowhere at all. And it doesn't. It's got nothing to do with her. She's not even debating about her. She's just using her as a frickin' as her figurine on top of the shelf as the trigger object for all the people out there go, ooh, look at that. Oh, that figurine needs a job. It drives me crazy. Like,
that totally drives me insane.
Oh man. My head's already starting to hurt. All right, I'm continuing.
The fact of the matter is that those countries around the world which have virtually eliminated childhood poverty are those countries that have invested heavily in education.
Now, where is that?
Excuse me.
Which country has eliminated childhood poverty?
Norway has. Denmark virtually eliminated. We are at 22%. They're less than 5%. Those countries guarantee health care to all people as a right of citizens. And you know what? Let me finish, please. And you know what? They spend about 50% per capita on health care.
Your first drink, everyone.
So those countries that have strong... That's not socialism.
But a socialized nation like Norway, let me add, the reason why Norway has so much wealth is because they tap into their natural resource called energy. We could be energy independent in this country, create millions of high-paying jobs if we'd only open up and legalize American energy production.
We're often running here, but one second. But it doesn't matter. If you had all the oil in the tank.
It totally matters. We've got huge natural resources. In fact, we're the number one country in the world in energy resources, and we say no to it.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is we've had an energy boom.
People like Ann could have good high-paying jobs.
Go ahead, Senator. The fact of the matter is we've had an energy boom in recent years. But 95% of all new income, 95% of all new income went to the top 1%. Now, what I think Ann was talking about, I think what Ann was talking about is the desire for education. My impression is she doesn't have a whole lot of money.
She wants a job. Ann wants a job.
I heard her say
she wants a job and she wants to be able to support her family.
I think she said she also needs education in order to get the job. And if you don't have any money, it's hard to get education.
But
so what we're seeing...
In America, we have the highest education. We've got a great educational system.
Wait a minute. In America, in America, you have a college education system where costs are soaring, where kids leaving school $25,000, $50,000 in debt, and hundreds of thousands of young people have given up on college.
What's been American policy when it comes to higher education? It's been let's put more federal government money.
No, actually, it's not been the case. If you look at correlation, the federal government has actually increased the cost of education. So now there's $1 trillion in debt outstanding from American kids. That doesn't help anyone. I think you've got it a little bit backwards. And I think the idea that solving the very serious problem of the declining middle class and the growing gap between the wealthy and everybody else is to do what some of Ms. Bachman's colleagues, perhaps yourself, you want to cut Social Security. You want to transform
That's absolutely a lie. This is the old canard.
You do not want to cut
it out all the time.
Wait a second.
It's a lie.
Is everyone drunk yet? That was like 9. Like, seriously. Was that a debate or was that just an argument on Wolf Blitzer? Like, I'm sure, like, the camera's not even on Wolf. He's probably got a bottle of tequila in his freaking hand going, glog, 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 glog. I can't take this woman. Glog, 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 glog. You know, like, all that. I don't even know what to respond to what I mean. There's still more to the video, man. Like, there's some more, there's like 5 more minutes of that. And Bachman and her colleagues do want to cut Social Security, and Bernie wants to keep it because he thinks it's great and it's never ever not paid out. He said this on his, I subscribed to his channel just to see what he has to say, and he said this in front of the, in Congress, right? You know, when he had his chance to stand and talk to everyone there, and when they're all freaking convening, and he's like, well, it's never ever, never paid out, never not paid out. But, you know, he's neglecting the fact that, like, it pays out less and less and less every year. Every generation that comes through, comes down the pike to go, oh, no, I have retirement. Sweet. You know, my former almost mother-in-law just retired 2 years ago. It's kind of a weird way to put it. Former almost mother-in-law. And, if you take out that money she was spending in gas, she makes the same money. Just by collecting her Social Security. And that's just horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah.
And it was, and years ago, it was different. Like, it's just, and then when you factor in inflation and you know, the prices going up and money not worth shit, Social Security is gonna tank. Like probably 5, if they drag out what they're doing now, probably, I'm being completely optimistic, like 15 years before any of us get it. And that's making me sound young because I'll be 32 this year, but oh man. It's like, exactly, Board says it great right in the chat room. He goes, all I heard was blah, 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 taxes, blah, 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 insert talking point. Like, it's like these people, like, they have their own little list of shit they're allowed to say and the shit that the party wants them to say. And what's messed up about Bernie is he should just call himself a freaking Democrat. He should. A democratic socialist. He's not an independent socialist. He's a Democrat. He always pushes for the Democrat anyway. Like, this is such a freaking moot point, freaking debate. And it's only entertaining because they start arguing more and more and more.
You know what, as a matter of fact, let me once again go to the chat room here. Board 1976 is talking about just this guy's voice makes me want to, I don't know if we're trying to gag or throw up. And then he says, fictional government.
It's all smoke and mirrors in the game, right, James?
Mm-hmm.
It's just there. It's almost entertainment. It's almost like
it's for you to have the illusion that you have some sort of say in anything. Really.
Oh my God.
Well, it's like I remember back in the late 90s when I was hung out with this guy that was a few years older than me, and he was real big into politics. He's like, "You know what, the Clintons?" And I was like, "Yeah, they're president." He was like, "You go way deeper than that, you know." And he's like, "You need to pay attention to politics and stuff." And I'm like 16, you know. We just my mother was friends with his mother and stuff, so I met him and he played guitar, so we hung out and played guitar and stuff. But like he was real deep into politics, and now not now, but like a few years ago, I started to understand what this dude Jason was telling me. He's like, it's all a game you need to watch because they're playing us like pawns in a card game, and we're losing. But back then, like, not too many people that I knew in my community, period, knew shit about shit when it came to politics. They voted, they
still
literally,
don't now.
I know they still don't now, but I'm saying as a whole across the country, we're all starting to pay attention a little bit more. So they're making the news and the politics more entertaining. You see what I mean? Like, it's almost like this is like another form of entertainment for a certain group of people.
Mm.
You know, and back in the 90s and even probably still today, I'm pretty sure back then, I don't know, I couldn't vote, but judging on the intellect and the logic skills of the people I was raised around, I'm sure the ballot box didn't have anything written on it. It just a piece of paper that had a big red square and a freaking blue square and then an empty square. And then you just kind of check the box next to it. Like, that's how I feel how it was, man. It's all crazy, man. So here, let's just continue with this argument because I think it's gonna get good. I figured I watched about to maybe 2 minutes past this part, but there's 5 more minutes. I bet you there's gonna be like someone's gonna stand up and punch the other person, I think. And it'd be awesome. So here we go.
I mean, let's face it, Senator Sanders. You shouldn't be lying about what our position is. Ask me.
Do you believe in the change
Social
CPI?
Security? No, I'm not cutting Social Security. That is not what I'm doing.
Do you support a change CPI?
I will tell you.
Do you support a change CPI?
What is going to turn the economy around?
You're not answering the question. Do you support a change CPI?
It is a joke for the Democrat Party to lie about what our position is.
I asked you a question. You didn't give me an answer.
Well, calm down.
Do you support a change CPI?
Calm down. The reality is we want Ann's life to be better because President Obama has created an economic war on women so that women are saying, I can't even buy propane to heat my house. And now my health insurance premiums have quadrupled because of Obamacare. That's an economic war on women. We want women's lives to be better.
On the social security issue, even the president of the United States has indicated, correct me if I'm wrong, he's willing to take a position you strongly disagree with.
I sure do. And I believe that virtually every Republican in the United States Congress believes in cutting Social Security.
That's
I believe that
absolutely a lie.
the Ryan budget called for the transformation of Medicare into a voucher program, massive cuts in Medicaid, and many Republicans. Can I finish your point?
But when you say something that isn't true,
can I finish your point, please?
It's not true.
Do you believe in raising the minimum wage?
I got a feeling this is where all the hair pulling and the scratching starts. Like they're literally like, you know, waving arms around. I'm waiting for one, like, you know, like a limo malfunction and like someone gets cracked upside the face. Like, oh, and this is the shit people watch and they think this is news. You know, this is a very lively debate, I guess, if you want to call it a debate. I could just call it like two people being freaking argumentative douchebags and Wolf Blitzer. What the hell? You out in the airport?
This is too funny.
Yeah. I think Mr. James's window's open. But anyway, like the whole debate, like, oh, I don't want to cut Social Security. Oh, yeah, you do. Like, oh, I hate the Democrats. I mean,
I hate how the Democrats like to tell us what our viewpoints are.
Well, both parties frickin' do it to each other. It's a stupid card game. And neither one of them are making any really salient points. They're literally just making asses of themselves on national TV. Nope. We lost Mr. James. So it's just me and you, Mark, until he calls back.
Yeah.
So yeah, like they're just making fools of themselves on national TV. And what this is like, this right here is like the pinnacle of what's going on in our political system. It's a bunch of school children running around and frickin' arguing and poking at each other and like, no, don't touch me. Like, you don't understand what I'm talking about. Like, you don't even know. Nah. Like, it's so frickin' horrible. But it's also entertaining. Like, I'm finding this funny as shit. And I dropped the link in chat, but I'm using my ghetto clip player, which is my phone and a speaker and a microphone, so I can't really drag and drop from my phone. The phone's already touched the computer, but it's not making any connection other than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you see where I'm going with this, man? Like, this is not conducive to anyone knowing. By the end of this video, I'm pretty sure we're all going to be a little bit stupider. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so Mr. James will call back in a minute. He just sent me a text message as everyone heard because it's plugged into the speaker, plugged into the phone. So that little weird noise was my phone with a text message. So I think I just want to finish some more of this out to the point to where I'm going to pull all my frickin' hair out. I don't really have much left. It's only around the sides and the back at this point. So
Dan is sitting here talking about CNN equals Clinton News Network.
Yeah, well, you know, they're CNN, man. I don't watch it all the time. I don't watch it ever, really, to tell you the truth. I don't have TV, so whatever I get is clips and chunks, you know, on the interwebs. And if I had real TV, like what people call real TV, you know, I'd probably be completely retarded and not talking with anyone on this network right now because I'd be so sucked into the matrix to the point to where, like, I'm like, oh, that must be really going on, man. Like, yeah.
The only time, well, see, my thing in news media, as far as like CNN and everybody else, the only time that you know I watch CNN is like if there's like breaking news or you know shit like that, and I mean I just don't you know I just don't you know cut on to TV and be like, hey, let me watch CNN. Nah. I only listen to stuff that's just breaking news and that's it.
Even the breaking news, like, oh, breaking news, Justin Bieber was getting high in an airplane. Woo! Like, that's really important. I need to know that. Who gives a shit? I expect the musicians, be it they suck or they're awesome in this country or across the world for that matter, and on this planet. Any musician out there is going to be getting high. It's not news, okay? It was not even news back in the 70s or the 80s or the 90s or the 2000s or the teens that we're in now. Like, it's not news. Like, shut up. We don't need to know about Justin Bieber. Screw that guy. I feel horrible being named Justin. I'm glad it's spelt differently. That's all I got. All I got is my name is spelt stupid. And that's it. Like, at least I'm not Justin with an I, you know, in this world, because I would probably I probably would have changed my name to something else that no one ever, like,
Yeah, I mean, every time I just cut on, everything is just always Justin Bieber this, Justin Bieber that. Hey, Justin Bieber got back with Selena Gomez. Whoop-de-doo!
What's funny about how famous this douchebag is I've never, ever, once, ever, period, heard any clips or whole songs from him. I don't even know what he sings. I have no idea. Or if he even sings. I just know he's like some kind of artiste out there, like that someone's throwing cash at. I have no idea what he does, other than the fact that he gets a Dewey in his stupid Ferrari or Lamborghini or whatever the frickin' shit he drives. I don't know, man. I don't even pay attention to that shit. Not at all. Like, the musicians I listen to are from the 80s, the 90s, you know, bands that have been around for a long time that had some kind of message or some kind of real heart, soul, will to go and drag themselves out of some, out of the, oh, James is back. Drag themselves out of the poverty area, then they had some creativity to go along with it, and they used that creativity to freaking make some music that would enlighten the entire world to a certain extent, or like at least put it to the world so certain groups would like it and like buy their music and like push them up. Man, I like Pantera, Metallica, Slayer, Skid Row. You know, I also like really good guitar music too, and you know, Buckethead. You know, I even like Five Finger Death Punch. Like, I like real. I'm just listing off like stuff that's coming to my head right now. I have a wide variety of music I like. And Justin Bieber and whatever girlfriend he's screwing has no freaking bearing on my life. Britney Spears, don't care. Auto-tuned people need to be punched in the back of the head, literally, because they suck, and they can auto-tune the punch if they need to. I don't care about these people, but yet they're like mainstream. They're always in the main, like right on the news, man. They're in the news. Like, it's important that we have a freaking have that on there. Like, we're gonna get to a point in this world where the news is gonna be, it's gonna be like, oh well, they're gonna like whisper, oh, we're in a war, and then be like, oh, and like Britney Spears farted in church today. Who gives a shit? It's gonna be that freaking bad, dude. So I see.
Yeah. I mean, well, see, the groups that I'm into like speed metal. I'm into groups like Sepultura, Slayer, Overkill, Nuclear Assault. I don't know about King Diamond because I never heard of their music. I'm into Ozzy Osbourne, Zakk Wylde, Dio, Kiss, Anthrax. Man, I tell you, the list just goes on and on.
Yeah, man, like, you know, like 50% of that list I agree with, you know, but we all have our own taste and individuality. And the fact that, you know, we don't have on the news, you know, anything about any of those bands kind of shows you, like, well, then they're bigger too, and they have a more of a loyal following. Like, they're really just pushing the pop stars, the ones that have been pushed up to the top. All that bullshit. I see we have Mr. James back. Mr. James, how you doing?
I'm alright. Sorry, I had to gather supplies.
Are you running out to the woods now?
No.
I hope Michelle Bachmann didn't push you over the edge.
No. No, but I don't know. I just came into listening to a list of a bunch of groups of music that like I used to listen to a long time ago. And King Diamond's a weird dude. He was like Alice Cooper, but like late 80s speed metal. He was a weirdo.
I don't know, King Diamond, he is, I mean, like, when I went to, you know, as a matter of fact, I found, I'm about to listen to some of his songs on Spotify. I don't know if you all ever heard of Spotify, but I was going to listen to like some of his songs. It's just like the way he is, like, honestly, I mean, like, seriously scary. I mean, like, he'll like pop out and like scare the living shit out of you or something.
Okay, I ran away from the mic for a second. Someone take over.
I don't know. Yeah, he's a weirdo. I don't know. I used to be way into Anthrax. Way into Slayer. Like, I used to even be into groups like DSI because of like just how like the double bass that guy used to kick was like amazing. But I don't know. Like,
have you heard of there's this group they were formerly MO, now they're like SOD, which is like, I'm trying to recall what SOD stood for. Stormtroopers of Death.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard of those guys.
I haven't heard of them. When you say SOD, I'm thinking like POD, like seriously? Like, that's what came to my head. I'm not saying it had anything to do with it.
Yeah. SOD, it stands for Troopers.
What's that? You kind of fade out there, dude.
Yeah, you
Hold on. It stands for Stormtroopers of Death.
Yeah.
Well, that's a cool name and all, but do they stand for anything other than stormtrooping for death?
He's the hell.
You know who's an awesome group? You know who's an awesome group from back in those days is Fugazi. Fugazi was an awesome group, man. Listen, like, there was like a lot of commentary in a lot of their music about things, and like, it's like one of the true punk rock groups out there. I don't know. The guy that sang in Fugazi used to be a Minor Threat. So I don't know if either of those groups ring any bells, but like those are like early punk rock groups from like the early 80s, mid 80s and stuff. And like, they have some really good stuff to say.
What about Suicidal Tendencies? Is that like, I don't know, like, is it 90s or something?
Yeah.
He was in the 80s. Those guys were in the 80s too. Yeah. But I mean, they had some stuff to say. It's like, I was more into like groups like Black Flag, Fugazi, Minor Threat, DRI, Dead Kennedys, like those type of groups. Like that's what I was into, like when I was listening to that type of music.
Yeah, then there's another group called GBH, I think they're called, something like that. Then there's this other weird group. They're called, and I hate to even mention this group. I think they're called the Butthole Surfers.
Yeah.
When I first heard about that group, I'm like, ew. I mean, how can you
That's
have
just a wrong
name,
dude. That's a wrong name to be picking. You want to get, and they got famous with it too, which is weird.
Yeah, I mean, then like on one of their albums, how can you have a song called Lady Sniff? What the hell is that all about?
I don't know, dude. I wasn't into punk, man. I was into metal. Metal had the message for me, And I think metal is really one of the reasons why, like, I have that liberty-minded, viewpoint. You listen to, like, Rain and Blood, or you listen to, like, the whole And Justice for All album from Metallica, or if you listen to, like, the entire Operation Mindcrime album from, Queensryche, Those albums had a message, like not subliminally they were saying it, but like you actually had to use your, like they sounded awesome, and they were produced awesome. So even the person that didn't understand what the lyrics were, but they would bring in that whole factor of like, you can't tell me what to do. Like, this is my life, man. This is my experience on this piece of dirt and water that we all have to experience at the same time. So don't tell me what I can and can't do, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the rock group Kiss, and this is what like pissed me off. People is that people have thought Kiss stood for Knights in Satan's Service, and then like I'm sitting there telling myself, now how can a rock group like Kiss be like that? I mean, come on. I mean, like, Knights in Satan's Service? Nah, I don't think so.
I don't know, but I don't like Kiss, man. Like, their music is not hard to listen to. Like, I can listen to Kiss just fine. I just don't like them, you know. They're, oh man, the whole, like, I'm gonna put on, like, 50 pounds worth of clothes and, like, shoes that, like, make me 9 feet taller, and I'm gonna paint my face up like a frickin' weirdo. Like, that never appealed to me, man. And I know it was, like, crazy, different, and awesome back in the 70s when it really came out. But I'm just not, I can't, you know, I can't
made him oodles. It made him oodles of dollars, man. They made money hand over fist for that. Just like, you know who's another group like that? I mean, all because of Alice Cooper, because Alice Cooper was the first guy to do that. But another group like that is Gwar.
Yeah.
Gwar? Oh my God.
You know, actually, it's funny you mentioned Gwar, man. My friend Mikey, around here, I have there's a lot of people named Mikey in this world, but my friend Mikey, who lives up in Burlington, he has a band called Spitjack, and they're kind of a punky type band. Like, I wouldn't classify them as metal or punk, but they're kind of in between. But they actually opened for Gwar like a year ago. Opened for Gwar at Higher Ground. And I was like, dude, you opening for Gwar? Of course he didn't. And this is what I love about this kid and hate about him at the same time. He doesn't answer his phone. And he doesn't answer his phone, and he doesn't send me any messages until, like, it's, like, that time. So, like, he sends me a message, like, an hour before his frickin' show. He's like, dude, I'm opening for Gwar. Like, you gotta come up here, and I'll get you a backstage pass. I'm like, I'm frickin' 2 hours away. By the time I get there, it's gonna be over. Like, what the hell, man? Like, and like, I'm not a huge Gwar fan, but I would love to go meet Gwar backstage, you know, walk up and shake their hands when they take all their gear off. You know, put regular people clothes on, that'd be cool. You know?
Hey, listen, Justin, not to try to be like, harsh on them, but, I gotta, end my conversation here. But, it was nice talking to you guys.
Oh, yeah, we appreciate it, Mark. Call him whenever you feel like it, dude.
All right, man.
We're always here, except for every other day that we're not.
Okay, then. All right, later.
All right, peace out, yo.
All right.
that was a good call, man. Appreciate Mark for calling.
Yeah.
And first time caller on this show. I don't know if he's called another show, but that's awesome. Man had a little bit of music knowledge to spit out there. And you know, creativity is another way, man. Like, I think a lot of us in this movement don't, you know, grasp a hold of all of our skills to put out the word, man. I'm not a lyricist, but I can write some pretty deep, dark music shit, as everyone should. If they don't know, like, I wrote my intro, my outro, and cut them. They're not really all that great, but I am also very self-picky, so I can write.
I'm a word ninja, dude.
I know you are. You're my Albanian Greek Italian word ninja.
Word ninja.
From hell with a tactical nurse at your side.
That's a pair of people I wouldn't mess with those people. Especially because
you know, think about it, like, you guys could get a real good job down at freaking one of them torture centers, you know, because, you know, you be the ninja, she'll fix them up, and then you can be the ninja again as many times as possible. Like, you ever thought about, you know, joining the government freaking tyranny? Like, you know, you'd be good at it. It's all in your description. Your resume says it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I'm just waiting for DC to turn into a wasteland, and we got to fight super mutants. Like, that's just what I'm waiting for.
Pop out of your vault.
Yep.
It's good.
Maybe,
you know,
is my reality line between video game and reality starting to blur a little? I don't know.
Yeah, only a smidge. I'm not sure if, like, you're playing too much Fallout or not enough. You know, I got a plan this weekend, dude. And speaking of Fallout, I don't play video games that often anymore. It's been a long time. It's been a few years since I sat down and cracked out on a video game. And last Sunday, I had like a 5 or 6 hour Fallout video game crack out session. And you know, when you're more aware of your surroundings, playing these games and like, and these are like role-playing shooter games for everyone that doesn't play. They're not online. It's just you in the game, and there's like books and flyers and like posters on the wall that you can read, and it's so telling. Like it's almost like they're like predicting the future shit. You know, it's almost like it's crazy. Like the first Fallout 3 came out right before Barack Obama became president, and in the game, after you got the downloaded content to extend the game, they revealed to you what happened in the game to cause the apocalyptic world that you live in. And it was a half Chinese, half American president that allowed all these international agreements and allowed all this international military activity to happen, which ended up in nuclear war. It's just it's almost like a prophetic video game to a certain extent. It's not directly prophetic, but when you're playing the game, you're making these connections as you play the game. You know what I mean?
Yep. Oh yeah. Well, as I run around the wasteland in the video game land, I just think about it. It's like being aware, exactly like you said, of being aware of your surroundings and realizing what's useful and what's not. You know, because as a role-playing game, you have a weight limit of stuff you can carry. Now, in real life, bullets weigh, they tend to weigh you down eventually. But, you know, there's certain things like that where it's like you have to be aware of what you're doing all the time to make things happen. You know, it's a reality. It's a, how do I put this? I don't know.
It's a training simulation for the next mode of what's going to happen. Like what Jules been saying, off and on for the last few months and longer probably. You know, when she was working in the computer industry, the DOD came in on some kind of like, was it the publisher or like, I can't remember exactly what they were.
Oh
but
yeah, they made a video game. They made a video training game for,
right. And
soldiers.
It was a flight simulator game.
Yeah.
And that flight simulator game was 18 years ago or 19 years ago now. And now look, we're the 18 and 19 year olds can go jump right into the frickin' military, and anyone that played these games are usually the best prospects for the drone pilots because it's a flight simulator. So it's
right.
almost like Fallout's a training simulation for when, you know, when the fit hits the shan.
Yeah. Well, just like Call of Duty is like a simulator for fighting, you know, like when Call of Duty 4 came out, you know, that was what, Iraq, you know, like that's, you know, directly related, you know what I mean? They're training kids how to fight in that world.
It goes even deeper than that, dude. Like about 2 years ago, my friend Lance needed money, so he was gonna, you know, I was gonna help. I was just gonna like loan him some money, and then him and his wife got in a little argument. So I was like, all right. Tell you what, since I'm not gonna loan you money, how about you? Because you're selling your PlayStation anyway, and I'll just buy some of your games you have, because he's gonna sell all as a package. I'll just give you, you know, a couple $100. You give me like 5, 6, 7 games or something. Yeah. And one of the games was Battlefield 3. And in Battlefield 3, the war zone is Iran. Like you're fighting in Tehran. It's like I'm like going into this game. I haven't even played it though. I played it like twice for like maybe 3 hours each. And I'm playing the game. I'm like, I can't even stand the fact that like I stopped playing it because the game is propaganda training and like brainwashing about we're going to go into Iran. Like that's what the whole game was about. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like this is how we get the youth to not draw the line between reality and video games, and like it kind of connects the two to the point to where they don't understand the difference.
Well, it's exactly, well, you know, those are, when they make those games, those are based on real life places. Like, you know, they have real mock-ups of these things, just like when they make like Gran Turismo or Forza, like those are the most, what's really funny about how realistic that game is I was playing Forza, And the tactical nurse came home and she's like, "Oh, what are you watching on TV?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "What is this, Top Gear?" I'm like, "No, I'm playing a video game." And she was like, "No shit." Like, couldn't believe how real everything looked. You know what I mean? So they build these games based on absolute real scenarios, and, you know, that's how they train these people and brainwash them and desensitize them to be able to fight in these places. I mean, I know I've read that F1 drivers and other drivers of race cars will play Forza or, you know, Gran Turismo and race the track that they're going to race just before they race it, to have an idea in their head before they get there. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, man. That was kind of half shown on that movie Driven, with Sylvester Stallone and some little weird blonde-headed kid that was a newbie to racing. No idea what. Oh well. Anyway, there was the premise of the movie was, it was called Driven. It was an open wheels racing movie. It was kind of like Days of Thunder, but it was all about open wheels, not stock cars. And the old guy coming into the movie that got blacklisted and kind of got dragged back in was Sylvester Stallone. And then he was supposed to help this newcomer kid that was like doing real good, but was starting to lose his game. Now, in the movie, like, before every race, you see this kid and the main character, like, playing these racing games on his computer that was the track that he was going to. Like, it was almost like, this is where it's going. Like, everything's gonna be a simulation. You can simulate everything before you go to it. Like, the technology is there now. And I was looking through, you know, eBay and stuff, because I like to look through eBay for random. I'm waiting for like a really awesome like VR helmet thing, just so I've always wanted one since like 94 or 95. My family went down to Florida, and we went to I think it was called, either Paradise Island or Treasure Island. It was like this. It was kind of like this little community thing. It wasn't like on an island, but it was like a theme park thing, and they had one of the first VR, you know, virtual reality setups there. It was seriously like out of the Lawnmower Man. And like, you like stood up in this weird like gyro thing, and they strapped your feet in and your arms, and it didn't move more than like 5 degrees in any direction, but it's not like you like spun around like the movie. But like, you put the helmet on and you could look wherever you looked, the screen it would change. It was all like polygon graphics from back in the 90s, so it was really choppy and shitty. But it was really awesome. My stepdad paid for me like $10 for me to like stand in that thing for like 3 minutes. But since then I always wanted something like that. And as for myself at home, like, and it comes back to me every now. I bought one of these little headset things that you put on, and it's not adjustable, and it's made for like people with small heads. So like I had to like cross my eyes to use it. So I was pissed and I couldn't return it. But I was looking not too long ago, and like, there's this new thing coming out, like, to the mainstream. It's in prototype beta testing mode, and people are selling it on eBay. It's called the Oculus Rift. And the Oculus Rift is a VR, like, screen thing you strap to your head, and it looks like a frickin', like you're strapping a netbook to your face. But like, that's the next step. Like, it's getting more and more, we're getting more and more like, infused and entwined with, technology, to the point to where it's just another one of them, you know, things to dangle in front of.
So are we going to have a warehouse full of soldiers who don't actually die but are controlling robots in another country?
Well,
is that where we're going? Okay.
I think so. I think that's going to be kind of like the way. And, you know, and that movie, Surrogates with Bruce Willis, which was a really good movie. But the military, which I prefer, if we're gonna blow a shit ton of money on military stuff, we might as well just do it this way, because no one dies. And it's just a shitload of like military, like, drone people that are controlled by other people sitting at home, like, in their own country, and they're just blowing up these drones in the middle of nowhere. They have this like sectioned off battlefield that like no one lived in, so there's no civilian deaths. There's no actual deaths. It's just a bunch of machinery getting blown up. I'd prefer that. But like we're being programmed through these movies and these video games and this new technology to start accepting these things. And you can't always go back and be like, well, we should just have the old West and you get on your horse with your, with your buddy John Wayne and you got your cattle rifle and AKA your 30-30 and like, your 6-shooter on your hip and you just go,
your big iron.
Your big iron on your hip. That's right. Man, Rob knew that. I'm surprised, Sheriff Rob knew that. That was actually pretty awesome.
It doesn't surprise me at all, but.
But what I'm saying is that the video games are out there to program.
Okay. I'm going to tell you this though, like and I don't believe, I honestly, in all the scenarios that I come up with, the nuclear wasteland is the last scenario on my list. Like I fully believe on full-on zombies before a nuclear scenario, to be honest. Like I don't know, that's just me, but I don't know. That's the only way we'll ever get back to the old West is something like that, like a complete wasteland survival scenario. Other than that, well, we're just gonna have to live Red Dawn style and duck and cover from the enemy, which will more than likely be our own government and our own troops. So, so we go. Gloom and doom.
Gloom and doom yourself, man. I'm just saying. I say we all just live life the same way we do our show. Play it by ear. You play it by ear, and you'll never lose, man. You never lose.
Mm.
Even though it's been like 47 and a half minutes since I played the clip, I still have like 5 minutes to go on this thing. I don't even want to do it. I'm just shutting it off, tuning it out. I did have another clip I wanted to play, if you don't mind. It was a guy I've been actually in contact with. Let me just, if you give me a second here to search for my ghetto clip playing setup. Let's see here.
How liberated do you feel that tomorrow when you wake up is your last day of work at that place? How liberating is that feeling?
Well, it's liberating and scary at the same time. I mean?
Yep.
It's cool and all. Like I'm excited to not have to get up at 5:30 in the morning to go to a job I hate and be pissed off all day long. But it's also kind of scary. It's like, I'm diving into this on my own. I know in like 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, I'm going to be doing some plumbing jobs with my buddy here nearby, and it'd be good to do the life change and not be doing the same shit every day.
But you still have work lined. I know personally that you have work lined up too. So it's like it's scary. Yeah, trust me, I know, but it's also really good, and that's why I say liberating, because you have work lined up. It's not like you're going to be without work.
I'm not diving into. I'm not just quitting my job and wandering out in the darkness and going like, okay, I don't know what I'm going to do now. Shit.
Right. No, you're set up a little bit. So that's why it should be more liberating than scary. And I will say once again, congratulations on that. Like it's something that a lot of people wish they could. They hate their boss, hate their job, hate their life, whatever, blah, 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 wah, yada, yada, yada. And, they don't have the option to do that, but you did. And that's an awesome thing that you're willing to do that. I congratulate you and commend you on that.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I just got to, I'm just trying to move forward in the best way I can think of, and it's not always the best idea, but hey, like the TV show Friends, man, you got to have the fear, man, the fear. You get you quit your job and then what? And then, you get the fear and the motivation to do what you need to do to move to the next step, in your life. And, I was at that point, man. Like I've been doing the same job for 38 months now, 39 months, and this is like this is not like the first time. This is the third time I've worked for this organization.
And it's never changed. It's always the same BS day in and day out. It never changes.
So, you got to affect real change in your own life before you can affect real change in anyone else's, I think.
Exactly. I agree. That's what the 2014 year change is all about. And I will go on record again and say that I said that before Obama said it. That's all I know is that dude stole my line, man. Cause I've been screaming the year of change since New Year's Eve. So.
Well, I'm sure his staffers that came up with the whole idea, like, had it written down at least a week before you came up with it. So there, he wins. He always wins. They listen to our show, dude, and get good ideas from us. I think so too. We do have at least one listener in the middle of Washington D.C., and I think it's one of the staffers that's writing pro Obama. It's gotta be. Okay, that's just probably pure bullshit, but it sounded good.
You know, there's I wouldn't doubt that there's some poor staff that has to go through all sorts of stuff, like all the little alternative media outlets all through the country. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He's got to go through it all. It's like, that's his job.
All right, so I got the clip here. I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna bring it up. Hopefully, there's no ads. There shouldn't be. I have no control over ads on my phone. Oop, there we go. Oh, pause. All right.
Play the clip.
Okay, I'm gonna play the clip. I want to preface it a little bit. I've been in contact with Police State Radio, who has a YouTube channel, and he's got a lot of good points and a lot of different ways of looking at things. And I don't agree with everything, just like everyone else in this world. I don't agree with everything he says, but he's really got a interesting way of looking at things. And this is him and his wife on a YouTube video. His wife is Sonia, the Truther Girls, and they have the pair of them really can kind of dissect what's going on and really think about what's going on in this world in a whole different way. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to try to get in contact with him. So hopefully I can get him on the show here soon, so we can have a nice lively debate, or at least discussion on what him and his wife think about it. Maybe even her too. It'd be awesome. But this video is kind of it's good and interesting because it's talking about doing YouTube research and how people make their own opinions on what other people. It's kind of like a collective opinion making. How people make their opinions by watching YouTube alone, and just actually being open to other people's viewpoints, but hold your own too. But at least be there and listen to what they have to say, and either rebut it logically or say, well, maybe you're onto something. So here's the video.
Hi everyone, Sister Girl Sonia here, and I'm here with my husband Aaron the Barbarian.
Hey.
And yeah, I haven't been really on my channel very much lately. We had some issues with our son's health, and it's going a lot better. We'll give you an update about that at some other time. So we thought we'd give you a little update. What have you been researching lately?
Well, lately I've been astounded by how many people think the Earth is, they still think the Earth is flat. I'm open-minded, and I look into the argument whether the universe is made or the Earth is flat. Some of the arguments are pretty compelling, and apparently, there's some pretty high up people that are in the know in NASA, and they know the Earth is flat. I mean, they say that, which is insane.
In NASA?
Yeah.
How do you know that this is
whistleblowers?
How do you, whistleblowers in NASA never think the Earth is flat?
Yeah, they were. It's an inside joke.
You mean they all actually know that the Earth is flat?
Not all.
Okay, but it doesn't make sense to me because look, the sun comes up on one side and goes down on the other. It's just the Earth is turning. That's
we can hear you just fine.
The days are shorter at sometimes than others.
So we can hear you just fine.
Like all that stuff to
you
me.
You can hear me?
Scientists,
we can hear everything you're saying.
I accept it at face value because if the Earth is flat,
DJ's here.
What? Like the sun would have to come up here and then it would go around this flat thing.
Yeah, but if the sky was actually a projection, none of that would matter. And that's some flat earthers argue that the sky is a projection, like a big TV.
You kidding?
What's funny about what he's talking about is there's a lot of different scenarios and everything that people we'll start like dwelling on, like he's saying, like, the sky's a projection. You got the people that think like, directed energy took down the Twin Towers because it didn't explode or blow up the way that normally should during a normal, detonation event when it take down a building, so it's like, it's going to take a bit to get through this whole thing, but like in the end, they're pretty much like, just be open to what people have to say, and don't ridicule them as exactly at first, but listen to what people have to say, and then just put it in your memory banks. Everyone's got an opinion. Everyone's yeah. I'm gonna play the video because I got an echo. Are you on speakerphone now?
I am. Do you have feedback?
Yeah, lots of feedback.
Sorry. All right. So I'm going to go back to using the earbud.
Okay, here we go. We're going to play the video. You plug in your earbuds.
Same.
So somebody has the technology to like put us in this giant hologram to fool us into thinking the Earth is round. Why would that make more sense than the Earth actually just being round? You can call your relatives in BC and they'll tell you like, yes, it's actually 3 hours behind. And you could get in touch with people in Asia and they would tell you, yes, it's actually tomorrow here, or is it yesterday? So, what are you saying? Like all those people in China aren't real either?
I'm not saying anything. I think the Earth is a sphere. It's just that...
But it's just that you're not sure anymore.
I don't dismiss it out of hand because I'm learning over the last 10 years that mostly everything we're force-fed from, cradle to grave is a lie. They were insisting... Not only insisting, they were burn you at the stake when Copernicus came out with this. They would burn you at the stake if you said that the Earth was not in the center of the universe and it wasn't flat. Like they were,
Right, but that was the lie that the church wanted people to believe, or that's what they believed, that the Earth was flat.
Maybe that was.
And then
true
the truth
to
was that
with,
the Earth is
and
round.
They supplanted that with this myth.
But why do people think it's flat? Because you're not allowed to go to Antarctica. They'll kill you if you try to go there because there's a big vortex. Goes to the middle Earth. It's like hollow. You can see it on Google Earth even. You go and look and there's like this thing and there's like a hole.
Yeah.
So you go down there. That's called the hollow Earth.
I've seen it, and the Google.
That doesn't prove that it's flat.
It actually hides the entire South Pole.
Well, how do you know that there even is a North Pole? Because have you ever been there? Have you ever seen it?
Yeah, right. It's like I can't say sphere because I've never been in space. The only people who are in space are the elites, the insiders. So they know what's going on up there, but we don't.
Yeah.
And just about, I find it weird the way when they show us the planets and everything, the Voyager 1 and 2 and Huygens that went to Saturn and all this stuff. All the images are phony. All of them.
Yeah, but that means they could just be faking it like they faked the moon landing.
Why do they have to focus?
It doesn't mean that the Earth is flat, Aaron.
It doesn't mean that, but it just means that I don't believe anything they say. So
because there's aliens out there, that's what they're hiding.
I'm open to entertaining the idea that possibly the Earth is either a cube or it's a dish with an ice wall around it.
Oh, so you can actually fall off the edge?
No, you can't fall off the edge.
Because there's a wall.
There's a big ice wall.
I don't know.
Like I've looked into it, and I've looked into the ancient mythologies about this whole thing. Like that, we live on the bottom is the turtle. Some people.
Hey TJ, you want to be on the air or what, dude? Hey, Mr. James. Tell you what, I'm gonna be a dick. There. Sucks, but I had to hang up on him, guys. He was, there was too much feedback on his end, so. I'm gonna hear about it later. So I'm gonna continue playing the clip now that we don't have people whispering around a phone that they don't realize because no one's listening that they're feeding back. So here, I'm going to continue this clip so we don't have to listen to anyone talking. So here we go.
I think the turtle was the middle of the Milky Way, but when you correlate it with this flat Earth thing, it's the shell of the turtle. We live on the shell of the turtle, and it's surrounded.
You know what? I'm just gonna stop this. I'm playing this video. I'm playing this video mainly to show you, just to be open-minded to what people have to say. And, just mute that. Like, you listen to what people have to say, and maybe they're all freaking crazy, maybe they're not, but you don't know until they do the research. And when it comes to the flat earth thing, hold on, I gotta throw a text out here. You just gotta listen to people and the flat earth, none of us have been into space, so we really don't know. I've never been into space. Most of us on the air here have not been in space. So, god damn it. Okay, I can't multitask like I normally can. I'm sorry, guys. You're just gonna have to type this real quick. So, let me just type this real quick. Say, James, call back. And call back and make sure you're not talking with each other near the phone, man. There we go, not talking near the phone. I know, train wreck. I totally misspell every word I type because I was typing it really fast. So anyway, I'm hoping to have this guy on air, because, he's open to different ideas, and he did a lot of good videos about the Michael Hastings crash, and 9/11, and the also with the Boston bombing and the DC shooting, and he dissects stuff really interesting, and it's just another way of thinking. That's what we got to be more open to, another way of thinking, and getting hung up on our own viewpoints is really it's not conducive to what we're supposed to have I hate it when people text me I don't hate it, but it's just not helping out when I'm on air. It's not conducive. If you're so stuck on your own viewpoints that you're not even open to other people's viewpoints, like the Judy Wood thing with the directed energy, which I understand, that, she does have, I guess she has compelling evidence. I've heard some of it, and it's kind of compelling, but I don't believe that there's some satellite up in space, that is, that destroyed the towers. There's other evidence, that really shows that there was shit planted in the buildings for the weeks and weeks and weeks before. So, but listening to what they have to say, makes them feel like they're doing something okay, I guess. Like they're putting in their 2 cents or they're, really trying to, dissect the information in a different way. They're thinking outside the box, and that's another thing I like to promote in my shows. Just think outside the box, man. Play everything by ear. So, if you, if you don't agree with someone, and if they're not completely off the wall, there's some people that are completely off the wall that it's just crazy. It's like, Gremlins killed, JFK, but, they might have, I don't know. They might, and the Hollow Earth theory. I don't know about that, man. The last time I was in Antarctica was, never, like they say in the video. It's really, some of this, they're making fun of a lot of the people, that throw out these, ideas. So let me just tell James to call back here. Because, I don't know, we were having a pretty decent conversation. The clip was just kind of, I don't know, man. This is going downhill fast, but it happens. It is Thursday, and at least we're all here hanging out together here on UCY. And if anyone else wants to call in, you can. We got open phones still for another 20 minutes. 718-717-8296 if you want to call in. I like a lively debate anyway. I can I don't know if I can actually do the solo soapbox anymore. I think all my solo soapbox things has gone away. I can't sit here and spout off the same things over and over and over again. Well, I could, but I annoy myself. And I don't want to annoy other people on the network. Cause we're all about bringing new viewpoints in and really trying to move forward with what we're trying to do here. So I could soapbox if you want. Or I could just scream and yell. I've done that plenty of times, but I don't feel like doing that. So where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? So how about them Yankees? Like I really know or care. So yeah, I just want people to start thinking for themselves and listening to other people's viewpoints, and don't be that douchebag that says you're wrong all the time without even sitting there and letting the other person get through their spiel. I let plenty of people that believe in the official story spout off all their talking points all the time. I used to do it at work. But I don't do it anymore because I'm not going to be there very much longer. But I let them spout their viewpoints off, and then I'm just like, do you know what we're doing over there now? Well, we're nation building. I'm like, is it written anywhere in our country's laws and constitutions where we're supposed to go over and blow people up and then rebuild their countries? No, it's not. Should we be spending our money that way? No, especially when our roads are shit. Like, every road I take every day is a pile of ass. And I know it's a local thing, but the money that we pay in doesn't go to anywhere. It doesn't even go local. We pay in so much in property taxes, and we got stupid kids being churned out little frickin' robots that are just gonna get up every morning and do the same shit I'm getting out of right now. And I'm glad that I'm, for the second time, unchurning myself from the system. I just can't do it anymore. I want to do what I need to do to make money, and I don't want to be paying anyone else so they can pay the man. So I can pay the man, they can pay the man, and everyone just pays the man. Yeah, that's one of the biggest freaking problems here. We're all just going along to get along. So, let me see if I can find something interesting for us to listen to here. You know what? I think I'm going to do a musical interlude here if I can bring it up here. Do. Not just me singing. I'll save you from me singing because I can't do that for shit. That's why I play guitar. That thing's muted. So here we go. Come on, song, where are you? Did I go past you? There we go. so there's a little musical interlude for everyone to kind of bring the car crash to a halt. Probably not the best airtime I ever had on here. But hey, c'est la vie, it happens. It happens. But that was something recently that I recorded. I record stuff like that randomly when I was actually thinking about using that for a bumper, or at least some of it for a bumper. So if anyone in chat wants to say if that's a good idea or not, well, just let me know. But I got another, approximately 13 and a half minutes, so I don't really know where I'm going to go with the rest of the show here. I'm just going to turn that off. No more clips from me that I know of. Just going to send to, never mind. I'm not going to send any clips. I think I pissed someone off. Well, it's fine. I'll deal with that later. So, I guess going back to the music thing, and yes, Mr. Bond, that was me on the guitar. Oh, he did call back. Sweet. Hey there, Mr. James.
Hello.
Hey. I didn't mean to cut you off, man, but all we could hear was you and TJ talking in the background. I know you weren't anywhere near the microphone, but it was still picking up pretty bad. So I had to kill it, man.
No problem. I get it. So, alright. So what have I missed and where were we at?
Nothing. I just been filling in time like a chicken with no head, and I just, played my little song there I played for you just to kind of do a musical interlude while I was gathering my thoughts. I was saying just after I kind of snicked you and then I snicked the clip I was playing, the point of the clip was essentially like, just listen to what people have to say, and no matter how off the wall they are, give them the time of day, because that's really what a lot of people want. That's what, and I just want I invite anyone to come on my show and spout whatever you want off. I don't care. I'll listen to you and I will rebut if I feel the need to. And if I agree with you partially, well, I'll agree with you. If I agree with you wholly, I'll let you know, And some of these, alternative, conspiracy or like just alternative theories on like Hollow Earth or, the Earth is flat and we've been lied to, listen to what they have to say, because they might have some good arguments. Other people don't, like, I'm not gonna go outside with my frickin' lighter and grab some snow, because, and I'm sure there's shit in the snow. I'm not saying there's not shit in the snow. We got shit in the air, so there will be shit in the snow. It's that simple. You're gonna find the same shit they're spraying and the same shit that's polluting this planet in the snow. Like, that's a given. I think the whole snow thing should be viewed as is it getting thicker? But, that's about as deep as I go with that one. That's, what can I do as one little dude? Hey, I got a message from Dodie. Dodie said she'll come on. Okay, cool. We'll get her on here too, just for the last 10 minutes. But, what do you think about that, man? About just listening to people.
Well, of course, you should, even, like they say, every lie has a kernel of truth, every joke has a kernel of truth, like, if you're of the mind to be able to sift through it and find the truth in it, be it however minuscule it is, then, good on you. Like, I think a lot of people take things on face value as truth, and it's not the whole truth. You know what I mean? There's like, as my mother likes to say, there's three sides to every story. There's your side, the other person's side, and then the truth, which is God's side, as my mom likes to put it. But there's a kernel of truth in that, of like, there's your version of the truth, the other person's version of the truth, and then the absolute truth, and You know what's funny is the only thing I know that has absolute truth is like mathematics. It's like the only like those are like absolute truths. Like there's only one thing about it. So, everything else it's subject to perception.
Right. And I've said this before, man. Perception is like 9/10 of the law, man. How you perceive things is how you that's really what the game that we're being manipulated with is how we perceive this world, and we perceive that like gay marriage and like abortion and all these things are like really important because they're getting hammered down our throats, and it's about perception, and they're trying to play that whole like the economy's going really good right now. And they're trying to spin public perception of it. But you're right. I mean, it comes down to perception of like your truth, what you believe to be a truth, based on your personals of anything that you have lived through, done, seen, whatever. Like those are your truths as an individual. So, it's hard. That's why I think we have a lot of problem agreeing on things is because of our perceptions, each individual own perceptions and bias towards certain things. You know what I mean? Be it on this level, that level, or the other level of whatever you believe, then that's where you're going to be biased to. That's right, man. And we got Zori on with us right now. She popping on for the last few minutes. How's it going, Zori?
Pretty good. It's raining in California. That's nice.
Awesome. I hear that doesn't do that very often out there in Cali.
Well, it hasn't. We've been in a drought for 4 years.
That's what you get for living in a desert, Dodie. It's a desert.
But we supply the food for most of the United States. People are going to start seeing prices go real high because lots of crops died this year.
Yeah, I know the supply and demand is going to kill us along with the freaking inflation. Mm-hmm. It's going to be pretty bad.
So start canning.
That's right. Start canning. Everyone start canning and start growing what you can because it's going to be pretty crazy here pretty soon. We just got another caller on the air here too. We got who are you, caller? Area code 910.
Becky.
Hey, Becky. How's it going?
Hi. It's going. It's been a long day, but it's good. It's good. We had a couple days of some ice here, and it got crazy.
That's pretty crazy. Like, you're getting ice, we're getting snow, and Dodie's got a rainstorm going on. Did they plan this? Is it like National Perception or Precipitation Day? Like we're all allowed to have a little bit of something today?
I think so. It's got me I don't know. I was in a position for the first time that I didn't have my wood stove. Or mice, I'm not prepared where I'm at quite yet, but I'm getting there.
Well, that's good. Like, I gotta get a wood stove too. Like, my propane bill is gonna kill me. Like, not only did I just, decide like I'm gonna do a life change and quit my job, my propane bill came in at $1,400 for 310 gallons.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the bills from like Becky's where they had that ice for days? I couldn't even imagine.
I'm sure the shortage down there is horrible. Like,
Well, and two here, we have no funds, so everything's shut down. I was more worried about. There's one county here, it's the poorest county in the whole United States, and they come on the news and said there's no shelters, and I'm like going, well, what are those people going to do?
Well, look, in New York, they have an ordinance where you can't sleep with anything over you, like a blanket or a newspaper or anything. Can you imagine in this weather?
What do you mean, like
where's people's humanity?
You mean like
there is no humanity left? We're being killed off.
I don't get it. I feel so sorry for those people that are homeless and have nowhere to go. I don't know what to do.
There's not enough shelters, and there's not enough, money allocated to like help the frickin' population. It's all about frickin' Wall Street and the war. That's all that matters.
And churches lock their doors anymore. You can't even go there.
If we don't realize that we are definitely in a caste system, and the lower class people are totally being wiped out here, I can't look at it any other way.
Right. And look,
genocide.
what is it? Michelle Obama just bought a $12,000 gown, and they're cutting food stamps to people who need it. It's crazy. It's insane.
That's the prerogative, is like they're gonna live like kings, and we're not. We're feeding the kings. We're in a feudal society.
Yeah, and if we continue feeding, I stepped out. I'm selling everything I own. I really don't really care where I land as long as I'm happy. And I'm not going to feed into the rat race. I really hadn't most of my life. I had a child that was labeled autistic, and I kind of had to feed into the system for a while. And with my cancer and my health issues, I kind of had to for a little bit. But I'm done. I am absolutely done. I'm doing my thing.
Yeah, it's important to be happy now as much as you can. I mean, prepare if you can and whatever, but be happy, because that's all you have left almost.
It really is, and I sit back, I watch the Facebook crowd, and everybody is in some kind of fight, and there's that to me is what Big Brother is what I'll call it, really wants, because nothing can happen if everybody is in a fight zone.
Right. Go back to love. That is the biggest tool that they're afraid of, is love. And, their main thing is to keep us all fighting with each other. Race, money, every way they can. Republicans, Democrats, the way to combat it is just to love each other.
That's all I do in my little world, is spread peace and love and a lot of stories and people and truth, and most of the people that I've been connected to have totally stepped away from me because of my truth, but I can't shut up. I was conformed in where I'm at. I was totally rounded up and detoxed off natural foods, and the only thing that healed my cancer. And after that point, I really don't care, because they couldn't conform my spirit. That I was strapped down 6 times.
I'm an old hippie. Once a hippie, always a hippie. So that, I don't know. It's a good way to be.
I think, this, being attached to the planet, being attached to the land around you and the community around you is the most important thing that we can do right now. Being really, observing what's going on in the world is definitely, we need to do that. That's what we all need to do. But being attached to our community and the land that we live on is also, should be like number 1. Number 2 should be paying attention. Now, we're down to the last few seconds. I would like to say thank you, Dodie, for coming on for the last seconds. Becky, thanks for being there. Mr. James, as always, thank you, sir, for being here. And up next, we got What Matters Worldwide with Vincent. All have a good night.